I was born February 1st, 1953 at the old DC General Hospital and grew up on 1st Street between S and Randolph Street Northwest in the Bloomingdale area, Washington, D.C. Awesome neighborhood where everyone knew everyone. It was truly the sense of community. Our neighbors were aunts and uncles to everyone. When I say aunts and uncles to everyone, my next door neighbor was Miss Marie. Next door to her was Aunt Gert. Next door to them was Aunt Lanita and Uncle Sammy. Across the street was Miss Edith. Everyone knew everyone, and that was what was so important. You felt like there was always somebody to reach out to. Some very unique folks in the neighborhood as well. Around the corner on Randolph Street was Professor Herring. Professor Herring owned and had in his home a black art museum on Randolph Street. Around the corner on S Street, we had a family, the Nicholsons, who were prominent in the area because of the children. The children grew up to be a lawyer, a news editor, a pediatrician, and a professional ballet dancer. They came from Jamaica. Their parents were a dentist and the librarian for the Library of Congress. Next door to them, Dr. Newman was a medical doctor, spent most of his time on his back porch tending to his flowers. Across the street, next door to Miss Edith and her two sons, Franz and George, was another doctor who rented the basement of a home. And I'll tell you, that doctor's office was set up with a waiting room, with examination rooms, but that's the way the doctors in the area that lived in our neighborhood, they had their offices right in a home. Around the corner on 2nd Street was a pediatrician he owned the house, but his basement was yet another doctor's office with a waiting room, with the treatment rooms. And I know firsthand because as a kid, guess who went there? That would be me. Across the street from them, from that doctor, was yet another educator, Edna T. Owens. How do I know her name like that and her address, 1724 2nd Street? Because her mail always went to 1724 1st Street. So we were always walking mail around the corner to Mrs. Owens' house.